Hello students, AS level chemistry, chapter is organic chemistry, lecture number 4. In this lecture we are going to talk about what is nomenclature. Nomenclature, it is a system of naming organic compounds. Now how we can name different organic compounds in the organic chemistry? There are two different methods, there are two types of nomenclature we use for naming organic compounds. One method, one type of nomenclature, it is known as common nomenclature. Now, what we must remember, in case of common nomenclature, an organic compound, it is named after a place, person, or origin. From where an organic compound it is discovered, it is originated, that is important. For example, some examples that are worth noting that you can remember, it is number one, methane. You know what is the formula of methane? It is CH4. What is the common name of methane? Methane, it is also known as natural gas. Why it is known as natural gas? Because it is found in nature. That is why this gas, it has been given the name of natural gas. You would have heard CNG. CNG stands for compressed natural gas. That is the other name for methane. Likewise, another example that you can remember, it is ethanoic acid. As the name indicates, ethanoic acid, it has two carbon atoms. And what is the functional group of ethanoic acid? It is carboxyl, COOH. Ethanoic acid in the common nomenclature, it is known as acetic acid. Why it is known as acetic acid? Because it is found in vinegar. It is found in vinegar, and the Latin name for vinegar is acetum. So this is how, by looking at these two examples, you have come to know how different organic compounds, they are named using common nomenclature. In your syllabus, we will focus on, we will stick to the second type of nomenclature that we use in your AS as well as A2 level chemistry. The second type of nomenclature that is very important as far as your syllabus is concerned, it is known as IUPAC, IUPAC. IUPAC or IUPAC, it stands for International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. Now this union, it has devised certain rules. Anyone who can learn, who can memorize these rules, uh, he can become able, she can become able to name any organic compound. Now, in your syllabus, the organic compounds, the organic families that are included, for those organic families, just I am telling you 5 different rules, and these 5 different rules, they will help you to name any organic family that is in your syllabus. Now, what are these rules? Rule number one. First of all, whenever we want to name any organic compound, the most important thing to start with, in the given structure of an organic compound, we must look for the longest continuous chain of carbon atom. This is the most important feature of the given compound that we must look at. Longest continuous chain, it must be made up of carbon atoms. But when you are choosing longest continuous chain of carbon atom, it is important to include number one, functional group carbon atom. You must include the functional group carbon atom in the longest continuous chain. If you are choosing a longest continuous chain but you are excluding functional group carbon, then you are violating rule number 1, and the name that you will write down, it will become incorrect. Now you must be able to identify which carbon is the functional group carbon. There are two possible definitions, two possible features that you can remember to identify functional group carbon atom. Number one, functional group carbon is a carbon atom that may be a part of a functional group. For example, COOH, carboxyl. In this case, the carbon that is a part of the functional group, it is the functional group carbon. But if you are given alcohol, what is the functional group of alcohol or alkanol organic family? The functional group of alkanol organic family is OH, hydroxyl. Is there any carbon atom? No, there is no carbon atom in OH. Then which carbon will be treated as functional group carbon? The carbon to which functional group OH is bonded. So you can remember these two important features. By looking at any one of these two features, you will become able to identify functional group carbon. Next come, you must also look at the structure of a given organic compound, and you must see if there is a double bond. If double bond is there, you must include double bonded carbon in your longest continuous chain. Again, this is must. And the third carbon that is compulsory to be included into the longest continuous chain of carbon atom, it is branched carbon atom. So these are three important types of carbon atom which must always be a part of your longest continuous chain that you have chosen for a given organic structure. One more thing, remember, mostly at this level, in AS level and in A2 level, whenever you are given a structure for naming, it is obvious that the straight chain would be the longest continuous chain mostly. It is less common that you might be given a structure where the longest chain, it might be having a bend, and it is very rare. It is very rare that you may be given a structure for naming in A levels having two bends like this. So mostly whenever you are given a structure for naming in organic chemistry, remember you must start by looking at the structure and keeping in your mind that the longest chain, it would be the straight chain, and sometimes very rarely the longest chain, it might have bends. So first of all, the important thing is straight chain, mostly it is the longest chain. Now once you have identified the longest continuous chain of carbon atom, next comes how to write down the parent name or the stem name. What is parent name or stem name? Parent name is the name that is written at the end of name of an organic compound. The last name that is written, it is known as parent name. Now this parent name is written based on information of rule number 1. Parent name, it is very important. Why? Because when you write down parent name, there are three important pieces of information that you could get from the name, parent name of the longest continuous chain. You can see I have written a name in three different colors: alkanoic acid. Now what does this mean? There are three different colors. Each color is telling us a particular information. Alk, first part. Alk, what does it tell us? It tells us what is the number of carbon atoms in the longest continuous chain, whether it is straight chain or bent. What you must look at, how many carbon atoms are there. The total number of carbon atom is shown by the first part of the name of parent name. For example, let's suppose an organic compound has 5 carbon in the longest chain. Then what will be the start of the name of the parent name? It would be pent, P-E-N-T, pent. Why? Because there are 5 carbon, and the name that we use for 5 carbon in the organic chemistry, it is pent. So this is how first part of the parent name it is written. The second part of the name of the parent name, it tells us about the type of bonding. It is, if it is ane, it means there is single covalent bond. If it would be ene, that there would be double covalent bond. For example, pentanoic acid, it means it is having 5 carbon and a single bond. Pentenoic acid, 5 carbon and at least one double covalent bond between two carbon atoms. The last part of the parent name, it tells us which functional group is present in the given organic structure in the longest continuous chain of carbon atom. So whenever you have chosen longest continuous chain of carbon atom, after that you would become able to write down the parent name, and the parent name must show these three pieces of information. After this, after identifying longest continuous chain, after writing parent name, next comes you will have to identify the branches. Rule number 3. You will have to identify any branches that are present with the carbon atoms of the longest chain. Now remember, at this level, in AS level, most common branches that you will come across. In the next lecture, I will also show you, I will also tell you how to name those branches, but right now just remember the general name of these branches that you will come across in your syllabus. Number 1, it is alkyl, the most common branch in the organic compound, alkyl. Next, sometime you may see a halogen atom may be acting as a branch. If a halogen atom acts as a branch, it is known as halo. For example, if it is fluorine, fluoro, chlorine, chloro, bromine, bromo, iodine, iodo. So these are the 4 different halogen atoms that can act as branches. Sometimes you may see OH acting as a branch. OH, although it is alcohol, but whenever OH becomes a branch, it is written as hydroxy. So these are 3 common branches at this level in your syllabus. Now once you have identified the branches, the next rule that is important in writing the name of an organic compound, you must number each carbon present in the longest continuous chain. Now what you must remember when you are going for the numbering, our focus must be to give least number, to give smallest number to which carbon. If functional group carbon atom it is present in the structure, the functional group carbon atom must be given smallest possible number. If suppose functional group carbon is not present, then which carbon must be given preference? The carbon that is having double covalent bond. This carbon must be given preference if there is no functional group carbon atom. And if in case both of these carbon atoms are missing from a structure, then preference must be given to the carbon that is containing a branch. So these are the 3 important carbon in deciding the numbering. Always remember, if all the 3 types of carbon are present, which carbon must be given least number? Functional group carbon. Then whatsoever the number may be given to double bonded carbon or branch carbon, that doesn't make any difference. These are the 4 important rules. By using these 4 rules, you will become able to name any organic compound that are in your AS syllabus. But one last rule, that is you can say a type of sub rule. This is particularly used for halogenoalkanes. The first 4 rules, they are applied in the same sequence for the halogenoalkane. But when you start writing the name, remember halogen atom is not a part of the parent name. Otherwise, for other organic compound, the functional group it becomes a part of the parent name. But in halogenoalkane, after applying all the 4 rules, when we write down the name, while writing the name, the halogen atom it is treated as a branch, and the name of a halogen atom it is written as fluoro, chloro, bromo, iodo before the parent name. So students, these are the 5 rules that are very important in naming any organic compound at this level. Now in the next lecture, we will learn how to apply these rules. While applying these rules, you will get an idea how to name any organic compound. And then these rules, obviously, they will become very simple to be memorized. If you have any question regarding this lecture, you can write on your question in the comments below. Thank you for your time. Bye.